Good morning. Monday. Many Face Publishing. We in the building. So, I got my robe on. I am looking like a young Sky, the old Skywalker, the Black Skywalker. Or you could call me the Black Obi-Wan. So you have a big day yesterday in sports. Like I said, my Broncos got it done. They're in the playoffs, first time since 2015, since they hoisted the trophy. They're back. Jets are out. Playoffs are set. Giants out. Jaguars fired their coach. Who else fired? Yeah, the Patriots fired their coach before he even made it back to the locker room, man. Giants are keeping their coach and their GM. Vikings beat the brakes off the. The Lions beat the brakes off the Vikings. And let's look at some of these matchups, man. We got in the playoffs. Broncos, Bills. Okay. That's gonna be a tough game, man. It's gonna come down to the fourth quarter, I believe. As a Bronco fan, I'm rooting for my team. Yes, I'm a New Yorker and I like the Broncos, all because of John Elway. Growing up as a kid, I was a Giant fan, and when I watched John Elway in the playoffs, the drive, I seen, seeing all the little miracles and things used to happen. I became a fan, and Lawrence Taylor is always gonna be my favorite player besides Elway. It's like they're like 1A, 1B for me. I used to love the Giants when I was a kid, but John Elway was just, he was that dude, man. And I always rooted for him, so I just stuck with the team. So I've been a Bronco fan since the 90s. But, people are picking Buffalo. That's a tough game, man. Buffalo's favored by 9. That's a pick'em game for me, man, because a lot can happen in that game, man. Like, saying if the Broncos can shut down, can shut the run down and focus on teeing off on Josh Allen, because the Broncos can get to the quarterback and they have a decent, even though they got torched in Cincinnati, that was disgraceful. But Buffalo don't have the receivers that Cincinnati has. It's going to get real interesting in that game. If the Broncos can get a lead early, look out. If they have to come from behind, Buffalo's going to win. They can't fall behind in that game. That's the thing. They cannot fall behind in that game. They're going to have to come out firing. Defense has to play fired up. And they have to be disciplined, man. No stupid penalties, man. Then you got Pittsburgh. Well, I'm sorry to just cross over the game, but I just want to see the Broncos do stupid penalties that, bail these guys out. You know what I'm saying? So they got to be aware of that. But if they can minimize penalties, come out fired up, keep the game close, it's anybody's game. Now, like I said, everybody's picking the going with the status quo by picking Buffalo, but don't be surprised if the Broncos pull off an upset. Don't be surprised, man. You already know I'm gonna talk a lot of shit if they pull off an upset. Let's go to the Pittsburgh Steelers-Ravens. Tough physical game. I think that the Ravens will eventually pull away by the second or third quarter. After especially in the third quarter, I think they'll once they start really handing the ball off to Henry and wearing that defense down, because I've told you guys since last year, since the Broncos had Russell Wilson, that he's not the pocket passer that's going to pick you apart throughout the game. He's more of a play action, throw the ball down the field, 2-minute drill type of quarterback that he's more of a free. You got to play up tempo, and Pittsburgh just doesn't play that style. They don't really to do that all game. They don't have the personnel to do that. They don't have those quick backs that you could just dump the ball off to and they can go. They don't have the big play wide receivers like that. Pickett is okay, but he drops a lot of passes. It's rough, man. They're gonna have a hard time moving the ball up and down the field against Baltimore. Um, Throughout the entire game, they're gonna have their moments, and that's what happens with Russell Wilson. He's good in moments, man. He's definitely a good quarterback. Nobody's taking that away from him as far as his overall career, but he played well in the system, and but he's not like this prolific quarterback that's you can just I'm gonna count on him to carry us to the promised land, like a like a like a Aaron Rodgers or like a Patrick Mahomes or like a Joe Burrow. You could just say, listen, we're gonna trust you to win this game. To me, he's not that type of quarterback. He can get it done, and he's definitely done it in the past where he's made some big plays, but not on a consistent basis, man. Not like guys like Drew Brees, where you can say, he's gonna pick you apart and get down the field and really do this the entire game. It's not consistent. With Lamar Jackson, all they got to do is stay within the offense. Don't get cute. Just run the fucking ball, man. That's it. Run the ball, man. Ball to Derrick Henry, wear them down, you know, play action, let Lamar run the football a little bit too. Just do what you do best, man. Run the football, man. Don't try to throw the ball unless the receivers are open because but I don't want him to just get used to just dropping back, trying to make plays, and then you get away from what got you there. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, the Ravens should win that game. I would say it's gonna be a tough physical game the first couple of quarters. By the third and fourth quarter, they should be pulling away, and the game should get out of hand. And that's probably gonna be the end of Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh. Um, the next game is, I think in the AFC is, I believe it's Houston and the Chargers. That's a tough game, man, for Houston. The Chargers are looking good right now. That game's going to come down to whoever got the ball last. I can tell you that right now. Whoever has the football last is going to win the game. Both teams are play good defense. I believe the Chargers might have the best defense in the NFL scoring-wise. So this is going to come down to who has the football last. Justin Fields is a good quarterback, young, but I don't think he's going to methodically just tear Houston apart either. I'd be surprised if he does that, but that's going to be a game that, it's going to come down to who got the football last, man. But I would pick, right now, the Chargers look good. I would pick the Chargers. They're the hotter football team. To the NFC, the Rams and the Vikings, that's another pick'em game, man. That's a good game, man. Although, the Vikings looked bad last night, if they give Sam Donald time and they run the football, and here we go, first take. You already know they're gonna say some stupid shit on here, but I'm gonna get to the stupid shit I heard this morning in a second. Just let me give my takes on these games coming up. Oh, Shay, yo, Bronco Nation, man. You're in the playoffs, man. But anyways, Minnesota, and I just was talking about Minnesota, and they flashed right on first take ASAP. Sam Donald's going to have to play well, man. But they're going to have to give him time, and they're going to have to run the football. They're going to have to do a better job being physical with the offensive line and running the football and being able to play action and get Justin Jefferson the football, man. Quick outs. Get the ball out of Sam Donald's hand quicker. Because they got the brakes beat off of them last night. And this is what happens when you get these quarterbacks that are, they're system-type quarterbacks, and when you make them throw like Brock Purdy, when you take away their weapons, this is when you see how good they are. This is why I feel like that Bronco Bills game is gonna be a lot tougher than people think. Broncos ain't no suckers, man. The kid, the rookie can play, man, and he's only going to get better by next season. You know what I'm saying? If he works hard and sticks with it, and they have a coach. You know what I'm saying? Coaching matters. But back to that Minnesota Ram game. Rams have the experience factor, so they have Matthew Stafford, they have the coaching staff, whereas the Vikings, they don't have the experience. But anything can happen. That's why they play the game. Look at Dan Orlovsky's face, man. Sam Darnold was 18 for 41, 100. He threw the ball 41 times, man. This is what happens when you force these guys to throw the football, man. And they're not elite quarterbacks. So he didn't know how to make the adjustments. And the coaching staff didn't make the adjustments. So, that's a tough game because if the Vikings can run the football and control the clock, they can win the game. The Rams are not a dominant team like that, but that's another game's gonna come down to the fourth quarter, and I'm gonna pick the Rams to send the Vikings home. I think the Rams will get it done because they have the experience, they have the quarterback, and they have the better coaching, slightly better coaching. So, but the Vikings, they did a hell of a job with Sam Darnold because he's living proof, like I said in my previous videos, when you have good coaching, you can make things happen and you can turn guys that are mediocre into winners. And this is how some of these quarterbacks resurrect their careers with great coaching. And then who the hell does Tampa Bay play, man? I know they had the Vikings at the Rams. I know Tampa Bay. Who goes to Tampa Bay? I think Washington goes to Tampa Bay. And Philly gets who does Philly get, man? Philly gets Green Bay. Ooh. I forgot who plays. Is it Green Bay versus Philly? Damn, I forgot who's playing, man. I think if it's Green Bay and Philly, that's a tough game for Green Bay. Or if it's Green Bay and Tampa Bay, I would lean more towards Tampa Bay because Tampa Bay has the they're a little bit more healthier. Green Bay is kind of limping into the playoffs with the injuries they took yesterday in that game. I believe Washington is going to Tampa Bay, and I think that's what it is. And Washington, that's another game. If it's Washington, Tampa Bay, that's the game that's gonna come down to the fourth quarter, man. Green Bay and Philly, I think Green Bay is one and done. I think Philly wins that game pretty handily. It'll be, I think by the third or fourth quarter, the game will get out of hand because they got Saquon and they're gonna run the football. And then you got the receivers out there, and you got Jalen Hurts. He should be well rested. They should win that game handily. Tampa Bay, Washington, if that's the game, that's a tough game. That game's coming down to the end, man. Who got the football last is going to win that game. That's what I think. I would lean towards Washington pulling off the upset. You know what I'm saying? But that's why they play the game. This is why we watch. And those are my takes, with those games, those playoff games this week. Just my opinions. Everybody has their own opinion. You don't like mine. Nobody watches my channel like that anyway. But there's way more other channels that do sports better. Let's look at some of these coaches that got fired. So Gerard Mayo, he got fired before the credits rolled, man. He didn't even make it back to the team bus, man. He was out of there. They didn't even give him a chance. One season. Let's see what they do with Antonio Pierce out in Vegas, man. Does he get a chance to rebuild the team? Like, you can't expect it. It looks like they might have just wanted this guy Mayo to see what he could do for 1 year. but you're in a rebuilding phase, and you're not even, and you got a new head coach, rookie head coach, and you're not even giving the man a chance to build a team. Like I said last night, the only reason the Houston coach got his shot and got a chance because he had instant success. And it's like he came out the gate with CJ Stroud, and they started winning games. You know what I'm saying? So that's what saved his job. But Gerard Mayo never got a chance, man. Most times these coaches, you know, particularly the brothers, they don't get these type of chances. Like I said, like not to shoot at Dan Campbell, but Dan Campbell, they didn't win the game his first year. I don't think. Like they you know what I'm saying, like he was able to give his team a chance, give him a chance to build with his team. Right now, Brian Dable in the Giants, he's coming back, and the GM's coming back. The horrible job that was done this year with the Giants, right? They a lottery team, and they started out the year with decent expectations. To just win, not to make the playoffs, but at least win 7 or 8. They weren't supposed to be no lottery team, and now they're in, you know what I'm saying, now they in the runnings for the #1 pick and all that shit. They're top 5 pick. Like they you know what I'm saying, like they won like 3-4 games this year. So you know it's ironic that he gets a chance to, after a miserable year, he gets a chance to build with his team. And this guy had 1 year with a rookie quarterback, and rookie quarterback that really wasn't expected to do anything, and he ends up becoming pretty decent. And now this guy's gone. He doesn't get a chance to, like, let me get some more pieces around and see if we can improve. Like, you could have at least gave him to next season to see if he can improve. You don't get rid of him right away. To me, you know what I'm saying? I'm not in the organization. I don't know what took place, but it looks like a lot of brothers don't get a chance. Doug Peterson was he was fired today as well. Out in Jacksonville, but he underachieved with that team. They had a nice little nucleus, and he underachieved with that team. Um, um, I'm listening to Dan Orlovsky. He loves him and Stephen A. Smith be going at it. But Sam Darnold, I get what he's saying. Sam Darnold, the offensive line got destroyed yesterday. They didn't give him a chance. And that was schemes. It wasn't necessarily Sam Darnold got exposed, like I said, for not being a elite quarterback, because the schemes of the Detroit Lions were better than what Minnesota had prepared for. And on top of that, they were more physical than the Minnesota Vikings. So Sam Darnold, as an elite quarterback, you got to make the adjustments. He didn't do it. And I like looking at the bottom screen. I see my Broncos giving out blankets yesterday in KC, 38-zip. Care if they didn't play any players, just got shut out, man. But anyway, back to the coaches, man. I just don't feel like Gerard Mayo was given a fair shake, man. And it's not just because of Reese. I'm just pointing out those type of factors, because it's like, it seems like brothers always get these jobs when there's no expectations, or the expectations are very low, and if they don't win with a rebuilding team, they often get canned. So it's like, we're gonna give you this job, and just to give you the job as a rental, but we're not really trusting you, because you see it right now. They're trusting Brian Dable to get it right. The Jets, so they didn't give Robert Saleh, even though he had time, you see the Jets were dysfunctional without him. You know what I'm saying? You see the dysfunction, when I try to tell my man, Aaron Rodgers wasn't the answer. He's too old. And, he comes in with a diva mentality. Everything has to be his way, and it didn't work out. So now he may be if I'm the Jets, though, I would keep him. Maybe go after Tyreek Hill. see if you can get it, which is going to be tough because they're a division team. But if you can get Tyreek Hill with Devontae Adams, you don't need to rebuild. Now you got something, man. You go get you another running back, a feature back that can, or that you can throw the ball to in the flat that can make plays on the outside. The other guy Hall, he's good, but he ain't. They need an explosive back that can create plays, and to me, he's not really creative as much as they need him to be. So I think they need to, they can still keep him, run him in the tackle, and then get you a quicker back that you can dump the ball off and then because they have the receivers, they don't really necessarily, and they have a decent defense. Maybe add a couple of pieces to the defense, and then you still have a team. I wouldn't just let Aaron Rodgers go. I would try to get him some more help receivers, get bulk up the offensive line, and because if you let him go, you're gonna rebuild that whole team, and now you're gonna lose potentially another 5 years, 4 or 5 years before you get better. Miami, they're done. Tua can't stay healthy. Tyreek wants out. Um, they're gonna have to. That's a team that's looking like they need to rebuild because you got a guy Tua who's another concussion away from retirement. They're gonna have to get another quarterback that's durable, and they're gonna have to, get them some backs. They are to toughen up on defense, beef up the offensive line a little bit more, and they're gonna have to that's a team that they don't really necessarily need to rebuild, but just retool. Sometimes you don't always need to rebuild, just retool, and I feel like the Jets are like that. But they definitely need a head coach too. Um, Robert Saleh, he was another fall guy, man. You know what I'm saying? And they seen that he got the pieces around him, and he's still struggling. That's why they got rid of him. But like I said, Brian Dable gets a chance to redeem himself. Let's see if Mike McCarthy gets a chance to redeem himself, or he's out. Most likely, I think he should be out, but this is why we watch. This is why we watch, man. The Patriots, who you guys gonna get the coach now? You know what I'm saying? Like, guys got to get a coach, a guy that can, you guys got to get a coach that knows how to develop, like how we did when we went and got Sean Payton, a coach that knows how to develop. That's coaching. And if you don't get a coach, yeah, man. Here's Shannon, boy. Orange, man. Broncos, nigga. Hey, I like them throwback jerseys, man. We're going to cause problems, man. But, like, the Patriots got to get a coach. They got to get a coach, man. And who we going to get the coach, that team that's going to, develop that quarterback? I guess they're looking at Detroit's offensive coordinator. But let's see what happens, man. Broncos, man. Yeah, he cooking right now. He cooking Dan. He gonna cook Dan right now. Are you trying to disrespect Elway? Broncos, man. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We was only predicted to win 5 games this year. What happened, man? My man at work talk all that trash. Oh, he didn't do his homework. I told him, in case he ain't gonna play nobody. Yeah, they're gonna Patrick Mahomes. He didn't, and look, we made the playoffs, man. Patrick Mahomes is not gonna play, man. There's nothing for them to play for. But when you're casual, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't pay attention to these things. You're just looking at the teams, and he was just looking at the game. Like, they Patrick Mahomes is not gonna play, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we almost beat them when they had Mahomes out there. If it wasn't for a blocked field goal, we might win that game. You know what I'm saying? Like, But anyways, who were the Jaguars gonna hire for a coach, man? You know what I'm saying? Like shit. They look like they're about to regress. You know what I'm saying? Like they look like they're gonna be a bad team for a few years, man. I would look. They're gonna have to probably look to move. What's my man name, man? The quarterback they got there, man. They're gonna have to move him. The hell is Trevor Lawrence? Yeah, they're gonna have to move Trevor Lawrence, man. I think they should rebuild that team too. Trade Trevor Lawrence and get some picks, man. It's not that he's not a good quarterback, but they're gonna have to rebuild, and I don't think he's a quarterback that probably wants to be in a situation where they're rebuilding and not trying to win. I think that if you send him to somebody like the Cowboys, or somebody like, needs a quarterback like New Orleans, yeah. Let me hear Stephen. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence would be a good fit someplace like that where expectations are really low, but he can like thrive within a system and a team. But it's coaching that matters. Broncos, man. This nigga Stephen A is stupid, man. But yeah, it's just the dumbest shit that I heard this morning, man. I was watching what's my man Chris Canty and in the morning. They saying they little talk show they got, and it's a great show. I like their show, man. And I was listening, and they had one guy who had a soundbite on there. Homie said that LeBron and Steph Curry is the greatest NBA rivalry in the history of the game. You gotta be out of your fucking mind to say some shit like that, man. Like, what's wrong? Why they keep trying to prop this shit up, man? And this is the problem why people are tired of the NBA and why you're raised. Stop propping this shit, man. You don't have to do it, man. When is it going? It's not going. I keep telling you, it's not going to stop till these guys retire, man. You keep trying to prop LeBron up into levels that he's not in the conversation of, man. There is no bigger rivalry in the NBA besides the Magic and Bird. That was the biggest rivalry, and it was the most even rivalry in the NBA ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had also another big rivalry was the Knicks versus the Bulls. It wasn't really necessarily Ewing versus Jordan, but it was Ewing was trying to get that ring, and the Knicks was probably like the second best team in the East for about a good 4 or 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they won the best team, like the Knicks is the only team that really could challenge the Bulls besides the Pacers. The Pacers was decent, but you know what I'm saying, they came out later, like later on throughout the 90s. They got better. They was usually getting bumped in the second round. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like probably like towards the mid 90s when they beat the Knicks, that's when they was able to start advancing to like the conference finals and shit like that. But the that was a big rivalry, man. That was a huge. People went home to watch. Yo, that was a huge rivalry, man. You know what I'm saying? Just because they didn't have Steph Curry and LeBron don't make it not a big rivalry. Like the Knicks and the Bulls, those games, sevens and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Them series going 6-7 games. Like that was better rivalries and better games than LeBron. The only time, I mean, like the first 2 seasons when LeBron and all his teammates got hurt and he was carrying them and they pushed them to the limit of 6 games or whatever. That was impressive by LeBron. Then the 3-1 comeback, that was impressive. You know what I'm saying? But that was, people forget Kyrie Irving was cooking. After that, they was just getting manhandled, man. Like they got manhandled 2 years in a row by Kevin Durant, and there wasn't really a rivalry no more because they added Kevin Durant. So it was like Now, if Braun would have had a big three too, then it would have been a little bit better. But his big three was injured and injury prone, and he didn't have the same firepower that Golden State had. So it wasn't really a rivalry. It was just an onslaught, man. They just was beating up in the finals, and the foregone conclusion was the Warriors is gonna beat the brakes off of them. Um, um, this is Shannon still cooking Joe Burrow, man, the legend, man. But what I was gonna say, the Celtics versus the Lakers, man, Magic versus Bird, that changed the league, man. League was out the door. You got guys. First of all, these guys were the ranks from day one, man. This is why they'll never come off my Mount Rushmore basketball unless you do something extraordinary like they did. When you come in the league as a rookie and win a championship, and then the very next year, the guy that came in with you, well, I believe might have won Rookie of the Year, whatever, will turn his team from a 20-win team to a 50-win team his first year, and then wins a championship his second year. These two players you have to go through from right away to get to the finals, and then they're meeting up in the finals. How many times they met up? 3 times. In the finals, Lakers winning 2 of them. But like even their regular season games are epic. Like you know they I'm saying that was the biggest rivalry in the 80s, man. And that rivalry changed the outlook of the NBA, man. It changed and it brought the NBA back into the household of the people, man. Like that was a bigger rivalry. That had more impact on the game than what this rivalry, which ain't even really too much of a rivalry like that. Like we don't like they not like yeah they LeBron got him in a couple of years ago in the playoffs, but it's not really a rivalry, man. Like I don't know, man. It just to me it's not a bigger rivalry than Magic Bird. You know what I'm saying? Or the Knicks versus the Celtics. I mean, versus the Bulls. You know what I'm saying? Like even though the Knicks versus Bulls wasn't uh 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 um in the finals, that still was a huge rivalry, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a huge rivalry, man. Like people went home to watch those games. People was like, yo, nah, the Knicks playing the Bulls. Like I remember because I was a teenager back then. And then I was, you know what I'm saying? Like I remember all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember, yo, we went home to watch those. We set up to watch those games, man. Magic versus Bird, people went home to watch those games, man. Like those was highly anticipated matchups, man. Like we living in a modern era where everything's visible, so everything is magnified more. But it's not a bigger rivalry than no like they're not more than Bird and Magic. Stop it, man. Dudes getting knocked off the edge, scuffles. I'm saying, like, come on, man. You know what else was a big rivalry too? Even though it was kind of one-sided till the end, the Boston Celtics, Detroit Pistons, man, in the playoffs. That was a big rivalry. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they were sending the Pistons home, but the Pistons was giving them trouble, man. And then the Pistons finally got them. But the fights, the knockdown, like those are more intense, man. Those are intense games, man. Like the Warriors and you know what I'm saying. These are manufactured rivalries, man. They're not natural rivals. They're only just because they're playing or they're rivals now. No, they're not. It's like these are manufactured shit, man. It's like I said, they manufacturing LeBron's legacy. They're not letting his legacy live for itself. They're manufacturing it by highlighting every little thing that happens. Like, come on, man. It's not a bigger rivalry than Bird, Magic, the Knicks versus the Bulls, or like I said, even the Celtics versus these were league-changing rivalries, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have said Miami Knicks, but it didn't last too long. You know what I'm saying? They didn't go a few years, but I'm talking about the years of playing the same team in the playoffs. You know, and it going either way. It could go either way. You know what I'm saying? Like where these games coming down to the end, teams hate each other, teams is scuffling out there, pushing and fighting each other. Like those are rivalries, man. That shit wasn't really a rivalry with it is, but it ain't the biggest rivalry. It's just these are two of the biggest athletes in the sport we have today, so it's more magnified like that, and they're manufacturing it, just like they're trying to manufacture these this LeBron Jordan debate, and then you skipping past guys like Kobe, Magic, Bird, Kareem, Wilt. You just skipped all these dudes and just put him. He's not better than all them dudes. Wilt Chamberlain impacted. He played in this era, and Wilt Chamberlain did what he did in the era he played in, right? And not only that, he did play against 7-footers and guys his size. He dominated the game, man. Passing, block, everything you think of, Wilt Chamberlain dominated it. Same thing with Kareem, man. When he came in the league, even though he wasn't winning the championships, he dominated. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jerry West dominated in the 60s, man. Even though he didn't win the championship, you know what I'm saying? Like, they were going up against a legendary team in Boston. That was another rivalry. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, that was big. You know what I'm saying? In that era, in that time, Jerry West won an MVP on a losing team. You're sitting there telling me yeah, come on, man. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, I listen to, some of these guys. They say, they think because they on TV, and they think because, I play the game or whatever, they're smart. And it's like, yeah, you all, you did play the game. We didn't. We just fans, but we watch the games too. We can look at the games and analyze things. You know what I'm saying? Like I hear one of the dumbest takes I heard was, Stephen A say, yeah, I'll take LeBron the first 3.5 quarters, but the last 5 minutes, I'll take Bird. When he asked him who's better, Bird or LeBron, he said this years ago. What sense does that make? What are you playing the game for? For fun or to win? Like even Bird say, I think somebody else said that it was a Bird. I don't want to misquote the person. If I want to have fun, I'll pick LeBron. I want to win, I'm gonna go with other players. Like he's gonna go with guys like Bird or Jordan or Kobe. You know what I'm saying? You want to win, man. When they wanted to win in the Olympics, who did they go get? Kobe. You know what I'm saying? LeBron and them was getting spanked over there. And then you got some of these guys, let's make the right play. Make the right play in basketball, and you're playing hero ball, and the hero ball is what wins champions. Hero ball got Mike 6, Kobe 5. They got Magic. They didn't always play the right. Magic had to take over some of them games, right? Give me the ball and get out of there. That's what wins the championships. When he took over the games, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like that's to me like the ability to win in the fourth quarter and take over the game is like, to say that I'll take him the first 3 and that's not winning basketball. Just make the basketball play and hero ball is because at the end of the game you got to be willing to take those shots to win the game. You also got to be able to hit the free throws. You know what I'm saying? And somebody has to be able to create offense when the game's on the line, palms are sweaty, and it's crunch time, and you need a big basket. It's just like with Kobe and Shaq. Shaq carried Kobe. Like Kobe just stood around and watched Shaq all game and let Shaq just dominate. Nah, Kobe, you better look at them numbers again. In the playoffs, Kobe was cooking, man. Is when they got to the finals, he looked at the matchups and said, damn, Shaq going up against Mutombo. He's bigger and stronger than Mutombo, younger. Give him the ball. He going up against Jason Kidd and them, and what's they center name? And like they centers was lighting the ass as far as to compare to Shaq. Shaq, like, give him the ball. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you give him the ball, let him dominate in the fourth quarter when it's time to close the game. If the game is close, Yeah, Kobe gonna get the ball. If the game is a blowout because Shaq dominating and the Lakers and the flow of the game is going well and they're up big, then you don't need Kobe to do too much in the fourth quarter. So he's not gonna have the numbers that he needs to have in order for y'all to be like, oh, he's putting up going crazy. Yeah, Shaq was the dominant force. Kobe was still the best player on that team because when it came time to close those games, he's gonna get the ball, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I want to win the game. I'm going to go with the guy that's going to win me the game before I go with the fun guy who wants to make the right play. Because making the right play ain't got none of them more rings than Kobe. How many do Chris Webber got who always reference to hero ball? He was a great player. Very great player. Like, that was one of my favorite players in the league. How many rings he got? LeBron still behind Kobe in rings. Jordan has 6 rings. He played hero ball. Let's look at his last hero championship. He steals the ball from Malone, brings the ball up the court, moves everybody out the way, crosses money over with a little touch, steps, hits the jump shot. Game time, man. Wins his 6th championship. That was a hero ball play. But that was his 6th championship playing that style. Of course, you play as a team. Nobody wins by themselves. What I'm saying is when the game's on the line, you need those type of guys with that mentality. Give me the ball and get the hell out of the way. There were games like we know Larry Bird is a great passer, rebounder, and he can score. And he played a little bit of defense. And it came time when he went up against Dominique, and he dropped 56 on him. Or he dropped 60 on him. Like, yo, come on, give me the ball, man. Give me the ball, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sent them home, man. You know what I'm saying? When Magic and Kareem got hurt, Magic rookie year, what he say? Give me the ball, man. Stan, let me go back to what I did before, man. Give me the ball, y'all get over there, man. Get the hell out the way, man. That's what you do, man, when it's crunch time, man. You know what I'm saying? When Shaq fouled out in the finals, Kobe was, what, 20? Give me the ball, man. I got this, Shaq. That's what great players do, man. This is why these guys are some of the best players ever touched the basketball, man. You understand what I'm saying? Like, all this, I make the right play. You know, Kobe can break a game down. You know, all these players can break games down. Larry Bird was a coach, for Christ's sakes. It's like, but when it came down to it, and they needed buckets, give me the ball, get out the way. That's it, man. And you know what I'm saying? Because that's what, you know what I'm saying, ultimately, you know what I'm saying, this is what wins the game, man. You got to be able to take over the game and dominate when it's time to. Not, oh, I got to make the right play. Look for the, like, this is why these niggas don't win. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. But like I said, man, that rivalry is not a rivalry, man. Like those rivalries were, man. It's definitely a rivalry. I'm not gonna say it's not. It is, but it doesn't have that intensity that the rivalry of the Celtics, Lakers, with Magic and Bird. Bird versus Isaiah versus Magic when they went to the finals. And you know what I'm saying? Like, the intensity, man. Even the Bulls versus the Pistons when they was spanking the Bulls every year, and the Bulls finally got them. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Knicks versus the Bulls. Like, those were more intense rivalries, man. To me, you know what I'm saying? Just in my opinion, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, I'm gonna listen to more of these takes. They talking about Tyreek Hill now. Like I said, on the Jets, I would try to go after Tyreek Hill, keep Aaron Rodgers, and just add your little pieces, man, to the team. Get you a good head coach that knows how to coach offense and work with Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? Get you some offensive linemen to protect, and get you a feature back. And they don't really need to rebuild. They just need to retool. But anyways, man, Face Publishing, I'm out of here, man. I'm about to get my day started. You guys have a safe day. It's supposed to snow later. But, you know, I'm ready for it, man. Face, I'm out, man. Have a great day. Have a good night. Get the